Hi, year 10. So if you're watching this, you should have already done exercise 3A. I'm going to go over the answers, but first of all, I just wanted to recap these. Now, I know I told you to read this already, but this is one of those things that at first glance looks really straightforward, and then whenever you get looking at the questions, it can be a little bit confusing. And there's lots of weird words used in probability, so we need to get used to those. So it's really looking at the different events that can happen, and that's the first weird word. Events really just means a thing that can happen. Whenever we talk about stuff happening in probability, we use the word events or an event happening. So if different things are happening, then there's like sometimes two things it's not possible for them to happen at the same time, sometimes it is possible for them to happen at the same time, and sometimes one will actually affect the other one. So that's what these three things really are. So mutually exclusive things or events are just two different things that absolutely cannot happen at the same time. I cannot toss a coin and get a head and a tail. It has to be one or the other. If you've got two different events and they're independent of each other, that means that one has absolutely no effect on the other one. And if two things are dependent, then the outcome of the first one will determine, well, not determine, it'll affect the outcome of the second one. So the big example of that would be if I had like a bag of counters or something and I took one out and I didn't replace it, then the chances of me getting a different one or a particular one the next time is going to have been affected by that one that I first brought out. Okay, so let's look at this exercise now. Right, so get a pen in your hand ready to mark these. So first one, Jasmine and Oliver each buy a ticket for a raffle and one of them wins first prize. They are mutually exclusive. They both can't win first prize. Okay, so I think in this exercise as well, the way some of these questions are worded is a bit awkward, so that's why I'm spending the time going through it. Okay. Two coins are tossed. So are these things like mutually exclusive, independent, or dependent? The first coin lands heads up or tails up. That is mutually exclusive. Both can't happen at the same time. Both coins land head up, again, independent. What happens on one coin has absolutely no effect on the other one. 3. A 10p coin is tossed and a dice is rolled. So the coin lands heads up and an even number is scored on the dice. So those are two things, two completely separate things. They are independent, so independent of each other. And then B, a 3 or a 6 is scored on the dice. Mutually exclusive. You can't get both of those. It's either going to be 3 or a 6 or a 1 or a 2 or a 4 or a 5, but it can't be both. So this is an example of one that I think is like just a wee strange question. They haven't quite worded it properly in my eyes. 3 or 6, mutually exclusive. Okay. 4, a blue bag and a red bag each contain a large number of coins, some of which are counterfeit. One coin is selected at random from each bag. So the coin taken from the blue bag is counterfeit or not counterfeit. That is going to be mutually exclusive because it cannot be both of those things. And then B, both coins are counterfeit, independent. What happens in one has no effect on what happens in the other one. So independent for that one. Right, number 5, Hartfield Airport has 100 scheduled flights due to depart on Saturday. 2 or 3 flights are cancelled, mutually exclusive. So 2 flights can't be cancelled and 3 flights, one or the other, or any other number, but mutually exclusive. B, one flight is cancelled because the plane is faulty and another flight is cancelled because of a hurricane at its destination. Independent. Yes, there's 2 things being cancelled, but they're for completely different reasons. One hasn't affected the other one. Like the hurricane at the destination of the second one isn't due to this other flight being faulty. Then 6, a box contains 6 blue pens and 3 red pens. One pen is removed at random. The pen is put back and then a pen is removed again. So those two events, the first one and the second one, would be independent because the first one's put back in. So the chances of wherever you pick the second time is the same as the start. But then for B, the pen is not put back and another pen is removed. They would be dependent because the second pen that you get out, the probability of picking different colours is going to be affected by what was taken out the first time. So this would be an example of something that's dependent, which I think is the only one in this whole exercise. Right, I'm going to do another video for the next little bit of today's work, so I'll see you in a minute or two.